Hello, 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 hello. I don't know why I wanted to say that right now. Hello. There's something about introductions. Anyway, welcome back to the Oracle Light Tarot. It's not a coincidence that you found this reading, that you're here with me now. If you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the likes or the like button when you hear something in this reading that you like. And I don't know why I'm saying that either, but I feel called to say that. Yeah, there's something about introductions. Does somebody say something instead of, does somebody have a special way of saying good morning, or I don't know, I'm getting grand rising. Maybe you're questioning why someone uses certain words that they use, or maybe you're just very aware of introductions. I don't know what's happening. What's happening? There's definitely something about clocks and time. Sunday, we sprang forward here where I'm at. We have daylight savings time. So maybe you do too. And the clock sprang forward on March 8th, Sunday, March 8th, right? Because today's Monday, March 9th. So the numbers 8 and 9. Also the numbers 3 and 4. Oh, and that was, something weirdly, I don't know, maybe that was spirit getting my attention, because I don't think I was aware that there was a time change, or I wasn't aware of daylight savings. So maybe that was my subconscious picking up, or some kind of guidance, spiritual guidance. I don't know, but I wasn't aware at the time. But I unplugged my coffee machine the other day, and I thought it was super weird. Maybe it was I just thought it was maybe encoded into my coffee maker machine, but the clock part of my coffee maker, where you could see the time, as I unplugged it, and I couldn't tell which I was unplugging, the microwave or no, I have two coffee makers, because I'm an old school. I have two coffee makers there, and sometimes my husband plugs it in, and the microwave goes there too, but there's only two. But why is this happening, Spirit's please pay attention to this. I don't know, what does this mean? You know how we do over here, all the curious questioning. So here's the plug. Maybe it's just because maybe I just confuse people, I don't know. Anyway, here's my microwave. The microwave. Okay, with all its little buttons, whatever. And then on top of it, I have a Keurig machine, which my husband likes his fancy Keurig single cup coffees, and plus he likes to use it because sometimes he wakes up later. I'm an early riser. There's something about that. Early riser. Okay. Maybe you like to sleep in. Maybe you're an early riser like me. I don't know what this has to do. Is this more charades, Spirit? That's so funny. I knew it was going to be very symbol today, because Spirit was guiding me to write symbols. And as I'm talking, I feel like I need to write the symbols that were coming through that I'm going to add to. Maybe we're going to make a box for symbols, not just words, but symbols. I don't know if I should separate them or throw them in together. I don't know. But we had a stick figure, and then I saw a triangle. Those are the ones. Okay. Anyway, let's just keep those off to the side. I'll make a box for symbols now, I guess. Anyway, I find this so weird. So maybe that's just the overall energy. Maybe things are just going to take shape in picture form. This feels very 2D, two-dimensional. Anyway, but what I'm explaining, what this has to do, I guess, with the plugging in. Because there's two. I said there was two, right? Stick with me. It never makes sense in the beginning, and then later it all comes together, right? That's the way it works. Anyway, there's the Keurig. So sometimes we plug in the microwave there. Usually the microwave's plugged in. But I have my coffee pot. I'm an old school, what is this? Coffee pot person. That's me. I like the old school coffee, you know? I like to keep it warm, come back to it throughout my morning and early afternoon. Anyway, so I'm reaching behind there, unplugging. I don't even know why I'm talking. Oh yes, because of the clock. The clock. Lots of time and clocks here. So I reached back and I unplugged it. And the only reason I'm looking is because these two things cover that plug. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I reached back to unplug it. And the reason I'm paying attention, something about paying attention, is because I don't know what I'm unplugging. I know it's not this because I know what the plug is for that. But there was two plugs. I can't see. I know usually this is plugged in. Usually. Because we use it more than we use that. I don't know why this is relevant. Maybe it's going to make sense to you guys, right? This is all very mysterious. Anyway, maybe this makes sense to you in some way, shape, or form. You know, we're getting very symbolic here. Maybe there's another word for that. But I'm reaching, I can't see behind the coffee pots. And I'm reaching and I'm looking here because that's going to tell me, because of the time. It's going to tell me because I can't see if I unplugged it. And when I unplugged it, it flashed a number 3 right here at the end. You know how usually there's like a, you know, your time is right here, right? I just put zeros for, I don't know. 0, 0, out of time. Now it's giving like 11, 11. Maybe you're noticing 11s. I'm getting that from the plugs. But when I unplugged it, I noticed a 3 flash, and then it went blank, and then blank. Okay, so I knew I unplugged that. Why did I unplug it? That's the question. Why was I unplugging it? Why did I unplug it? I don't remember. I don't remember. What was I saying? I gotta go back. Hold on. Let's see. Did I say why I was unplugging it? Okay. I went back, watched the video a few times. I did not explain why I was unplugging it. But I think I remember unplugging it because I had to plug in the Keurig, which I don't normally use. So I remember using that because I forgot. I forgot to get coffee. And it was very low. It was super early in the morning and I didn't feel like running. Oh my goodness sakes. And that something happened that day too. Oh my gosh, guys, this got so interesting. I'm remembering something. Oh, and this is gonna sound like, you know what, guys? To be honest with you guys, like, I mean, I'm always gonna be honest with you guys. So I don't know why I'm saying it like that. But I really feel like the last few days could be very confusing. The last few readings, actually, could be very confusing for some people who just don't maybe understand this, or maybe you're just not here for this kind of reading. Maybe you're just wondering why my videos have gone from manifestation to somehow this 2D, 3D, 4D, whatever dimensional charades, because it's coming through very charade. So I don't know if I'm just channeling differently lately, or I don't know. And I kind of feel like I got to keep going before I lose it, what I'm talking about. Okay, but I just wanted to say that I am very aware that this is not your typical reading. Okay, so if you're not here for this, I completely understand. I feel like I will get back to the regular, or energy readings, manifestation readings soon. But I just really feel like there are important things coming through. Maybe it's just for me. Maybe you're along for the ride and you want to hear it. But I really feel like me going through I really have to go through the motions. I don't know. Maybe there's something specific that Spirit has for me in general to understand. But I kind of feel my intuition is telling me that you guys are experiencing a lot of this too. And it might not be all of you, but some of you are understanding this. The ones who understand, or will understand this. And yeah, I just wanted to insert that here. Okay. What was I saying? Now it's helping me remember something. So maybe this is going to help you remember something. I don't know. But now I know why I unplugged that. Okay, I unplugged it because the Keurig makes that one single cup. Maybe I connect into more of a singular energy. So maybe if you're not understanding this, maybe that could be why you're not understanding this. I don't know. And then it's giving me something about these ones here. The 11, 11, 11 type energy. Maybe you're seeing 11s. Okay, maybe you're seeing these numbers. These numbers came through as I was watching back my video trying to remember. But I remember that I forgot to get coffee and I was running low. I had enough for a single cup. You know, we have these like little things where, I don't know, it's like a little, do they call them K-cups or something? But anyway, I have one that you can put like actual like coffee grounds I use for my coffee machine in it to make a single cup. So I had enough left to do that. I did that for myself. Very selfish, I know, but I knew that my husband sleeps in. As you know, he sleeps in. I have time to, or he sleeps in, so I have time to, that's funny, slips in. He slips in. Maybe I picked up on his energy somehow. Slips in. Maybe unknowingly. A different time? I don't know. But because I found that I was very aware when I said that. Yeah. Anyway, he sleeps in, and I was aware I had time to go after I ran, kids and stuff to school. I could go to the store and pick up coffee because my kids, or I think I went before school to get the coffee because my kids like, to run and get snacks and different things for school in the morning. Yeah, that's what we did. I'm recalling correctly. I went, got coffee, and they got snacks and drinks and stuff for school. Okay. I remember that. And what this triggered, going back and thinking. So maybe there's something you're going to remember or recall why, or where there was a change or some kind of memory, a change up or a memory, okay, coming through for you as you go back and recall some kind of steps. Or maybe this reading alone is going to help you remember something. I have no clue. But there's something about a snow moon, maybe like a year ago. And I think there's been a couple snow moons because I remember looking up that day. that this happened. I don't remember what day that was. Honestly, I don't remember what day that was. I don't remember that day, the snow moon. I know there was a picture that I took of myself that day. On my previous channel, I ended up, yeah. Oh my God, this has just got so crazy. I feel like it's so much. Sometimes I wonder if I'm like in some kind of psychosis that only I can understand. You know, it could, because as I'm explaining, it doesn't make it, I always think to myself, is this going to make sense to other people, or is this some kind of like weird brain spiritual like psychosis I can get myself into? But I really don't feel like, I'm very sane. I'm very aware of my now. I'm very aware of where I am. This is just how things come through for me, okay? But I just want to say that right now, okay? Because crazy people don't know they're crazy, and I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy, and I know that what I'm talking about sounds like craziness to other people, but I just want you guys to know I'm very sane. Okay, and very spiritual in the best way, in the funnest way possible, you know? So there's something about that too, and that phrase actually came through to me in the car, the weird, be your weirdest self in the best way possible. Like, I mean that in the best way possible. Like, you know, that weirdly beautiful you, okay? So there's something about allowing yourself to be that way also. But anyway, back to what I was saying, the snow moon. I was remembering, and the reason I'm remembering the snow moon was because about a year ago, I want to say a year ago because it would be last year's snow moon, and maybe there was a couple. I don't know if there's only one that year, or I think there's been a couple since, even though this was last year. Okay. I think I even looked to see if we were having a snow moon, but there wasn't that day when I went to get the coffee. And the reason it triggered that memory was because I got coffee that day. It was the same, almost the same scenario where I had to get coffee, but instead of actually making myself a single cup, I ended up, because of the snow moon, and it was actually, oh, and yeah, it was supposed to snow that day. We actually had, and I think that's why I remember it so much, is because that day it was the snow moon, or we just had the snow moon that night before I woke up, and it was snow. We were supposed to have snow, and it was supposed to snow any moment. There were like little flurries, and I remember I was like, oh, I have to go to the store right now. This was a year ago I'm talking about. I was like, I have to go to the store right now because it's gonna snow, and I'm not gonna be able to drive to get coffee, and I need my coffee. You know? So, and everybody in the house was asleep, so this was like as soon as I woke up. I left the house. It was dark, it was cold, there were flurries, and I ended up getting my coffee. I ended up sitting in the parking lot. Oh, there's something that happened on the way. So when I left to go get that, I was in such a hurry that I didn't warm up the car. So there's something about warming up. Okay, so that feels very relevant for some reason, and important because of what I'm about to say. So I was going to, maybe I need to warm up before my readings. I don't know, before I go on camera, so it doesn't sound like this, and then I can express it to you better. I don't know. Maybe you're here for the process. I don't know. But I didn't warm up my car because I was in a hurry. The flurries were coming down. I had to catch it. Maybe I have to be there to catch on to something. We'll explain this in a minute. So I left in such a hurry, and it was cold, right? It's about to snow. My car is really cold. I didn't give my car enough time to warm up. So when I left, I was going downhill, and suddenly my car turned off. Lost power. Because it was the battery, or the warming up of the car. I don't know. But anyway, there was like, and it was reminding me of that 3. Holy moly. It was reminding me of that 3 and then the flashing. What is happening? Is something going to happen to the power grid? I don't know, guys. Honestly, I don't know. So I saw so just like that 3 that flashed, it kind of like flashed when I went to unplug it. Like it was unplugged, but the 3 flashed still. And I think that's what caught my most attention, because it seemed to like flash for a few seconds after I unplugged it. But with the car, when it lost the power, you know how like on your dash, like that would be like the car dash. This is like the car dash, you know, your monitors or whatever, your speedometers, and it flashes like all these symbols. Spirit's gonna flash symbols, guys. What is happening? Okay, we're gonna write symbols. Don't you just love the way Spirit works? Anyway, what's the flashing? Flashing lights. So lots of symbols, okay, started flashing on the dash. They started flashing. The car turned off. Just like that. Even though I unplugged it, the 3 was flashing. So the power of my car lost power, but that was flashing, and it was still flashing. And I was like, what the hell? Because the car just kind of like stopped. And at first I thought like it was the battery, but then I realized it wasn't, because this was flashing. And then I was like, I know I have gas in my car. But anyway, the car lost power and I was going downhill. No, maybe that's significant. Anyway, because I'm uphill, I live uphill. I was going downhill towards, where am I? It was around a curve. Anyway, not a spot you want to lose power in your car, in your vehicle. But yeah, so the car lost power or whatever. And I just sat there. I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh, shoot. And my husband's asleep and it's cold. It's about to snow and I need my coffee. Yeah. And so I ended up turning my car ended up restarting. And so it did. It ended up restarting. And I waited there. I remember waiting there for a moment or two to let my car warm up, because I figured it's probably because I didn't warm up my car. It's probably. And then I thought to myself, should I chance it? Should I chance it? I thought, because this is okay. Here's the road. Okay, so here's my house. Anyway, here going through the neighborhood. Okay, but you get to the road. It kind of goes downhill. It kind of goes. I'm uphill, and it kind of goes around and down, right? In my car, like right here, and then here's the store. It's not very far, and I have very much to go. It's right there. And then my car, right? And now I'm warming up my car and I'm like, should I continue on and risk it and drive a little more to the store? Because I wasn't sure. It was like in the middle, right? I was in the middle. I was like, do I go back home and be safe and then not get to enjoy my coffee? And I was not having that. I was like, no, we're doing it. We're doing this. We're going to go to the store. So I took the chance after I warmed the car up. I went to the store, not really, sure if my car was going to turn off again. I didn't quite for sure know that was the reason my car turned off on me. I figured it was, but I wasn't sure. Couldn't be positively sure that it, but I had an inkling. Okay, anyway, so maybe this is like you following your intuition on something. I don't know. And not warming up. Anyway, I made it to the store. I got my coffee. I got in the car, and I think I remember actually making a video in the car that day talking about how it was a snow moon and it was going to snow, and then what just happened to me. I don't know. I feel like I did that. I think I erased that video. If I find the picture of me, I'll send it. I like to keep this faceless, but I mean, I don't know. If I end up finding it, I'll share it. But yeah, so there's something about that coming through. I'm remembering it. I don't know if that was like anticlimactic for, I don't know, the story, you know? Threes. Now I'm wondering why. But anyway, so I'm watching the video. I'm remembering this as I'm watching the video, trying to remember why I was unplugging it. And that all came through when I got off and I was re-watching. So maybe there's something you're going to re-watch or remember, right? And then I wrote down the word saving time. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I wrote down the numbers 8 and 9 because those were coming through. Why again? Because yesterday was the 8th. That was the daylight savings time. And then today's the 9th. And then the numbers 3 was coming through. Why was 4 coming through? Oh, 4 is coming through because of the I don't know if I explained this. The fourth dimension in 4D. Because the 3D, we live in 3D, but like when you add time to it, it's the 4D. I don't know. I thought I saw something. Don't quote me about that. But that's where my brain was when I wrote down the 4. And then when I wrote it like this, I thought, oh, 3, 6, 9. And then I just wrote the 6. Right? But then I go, that you don't go 4, 6, 8. But you do if you go by 2s. You go 2, 4, 6, 8. And then 10. Got 12 there. Which skipped 11. I don't know. But I don't know. But there's something about numbers, clocks. Maybe you're seeing angel numbers. Oh, and then at the 222 mark, as I was watching back, I said the words unplugged clock. Unplugged. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what's happening, guys. The time, symbols. So there's something about, do I leave the same spirit? Do we get even messier? I don't know. What are we talking about? Why are symbols coming through? Oh, and this stick figure is coming off as like 1D, like flat. You'd be flat. You couldn't look that way. You couldn't look this way. You couldn't even like, you couldn't turn around and hug somebody if they were next to you. You know, you'd just be kind of like this line going back and forth. And if somebody else was there with you, you guys would just kind of like bump next to each other, but you couldn't face each other. Interesting. Why I'm saying that. Why? This echo, communicate. What's being communicated? So something's being communicated here. Maybe it's the way, what would this dimension communicate with you symbolically? Hold on. It didn't mention like a dimension, but it mentioned the unconscious and bridges to your subconscious mind. And it can come through the forms of dreams, synchronicities, and intuition. So you can get symbols that way. Okay. So maybe this is how you receive information. Oh, it's like echolocation also. So like when things take like solid form also, it feels like an echoing. An echoing between what? Do we need to read that? Communicate. And I don't know if it came in reverse or not in reverse, but we're going to read it. Represents communication and connection. Animals from bats to dolphins use echolocation. Yep. To scout the world around them, hunt down prey, find mates, detect obstacles in their path. I don't know. Is somebody going to lose electricity? Is your electricity going to go out? Did you forget to pay the electric bill? This makes me want to go look. Or is the electricity going to go out? Or this is a warning about it? Or maybe saying that you need to unplug. I don't know. This card symbolizes connection to the invisible as well as connection to the world around us. In Navajo mythology, the bat is a nighttime emissary for the talking god, carrying messages where ordinary people cannot. This card might encourage you to talk through your problems, even if they seem insurmountable. Wasn't I saying something about in the 1D, like if you wanted to hug somebody, you couldn't turn and look that person, you'd just be like bump, you just kind of like be sideways, like it would be like another person. You would just kind of, you couldn't turn your head, you couldn't look, you couldn't turn and hug each other, you couldn't even go around each other or above each other. All right, it's very one-dimensional. So maybe somebody's being very one-dimensional. I don't know. So you're being encouraged, or somebody's being encouraged to talk. The Awin symbol. What's that? They have symbols on the back of this book. I know there is. Okay, so the 3 dots and those lines. The Awin symbol, which sits behind the bat, is a druid symbol for the spirit of poetic inspiration sent from nature or the gods. It has become popular in neo-druidry. So maybe you're into druidry. I don't even know what that means. Okay, I don't know where that's from. This is all new to me, so I'm not an expert on that. So maybe you are. Maybe you know something. Maybe you use that word often. I do not use that word druid. So I don't even know. And I'm not familiar, but maybe you are. Popular in neo-druidry as an emblem of the spirit of life which flows within music, poetry, stories. Awesome. Oh, maybe you took up some kind of music or instrument. Maybe you're starting to play an instrument, or you're just very into music lately. Maybe you're writing a song. Druid bards are musicians, storytellers, and artists who use their art. Art. Okay, to communicate ancient stories. I feel like I'm drawing here. That's so funny. And their understanding of nature. Like the bat who carries messages through the shadows of mystery, the bard communicates mysteries which we aim to solve through listening and interpretation. So maybe that's why it's coming through like maybe why your reading is coming through like this, and the symbols are coming through. Like maybe you're just a very symbolic person, and that's the way things come through for you. Maybe that's your way of expressing something of what you're feeling, and when you express it, it's just, it's a way for people to understand what you're saying. This card reminds you to express yourself and find your voice. It may also urge you to acknowledge the hidden messages that have been troubling you. It's very interesting. Yeah, so maybe you're feeling that way, very much like artistic or symbolic in some way, maybe music wise, maybe art wise. Maybe you're an artist of some sort, and I'm just picking up on your energy. Yeah, I feel like Spirit wants you to have confidence in yourself and the way you do something. Maybe you do something differently. It seems like to have confidence in that's very beautiful. I feel like at first you might feel like no one's watching, listening, looking, or understands, but it's kind of really taking shape. It has this. It's reminding me of the 6 here. That's not like noticed really, but it's all part of this Fibonacci. Even though the 6 is not in the Fibonacci code. It goes 5. I think I wrote that code the other day. That's been coming through. Let's see. 1 0 1 1 2 3 5, and then it skips 6. It goes 8 13 21. Oh, 6. 4's not in it either. It skips 4. 2's in it. So maybe you went 1 1 to the 2's. I don't know why I'm thinking about this. And then it went 4 6 8. And then you kind of made a turn, and now it's 9. Today's the 9th. And from where you are today, I don't know why this is happening, guys. And from where you are today and the 9th. So am I going to have to post this today? I don't know. I will put March 9th on it. Because from where you stand today. So something about where you are today, you're able to see or connect to the 6. And I was talking about going down. It's a choosing. So now you're going to back to this 3. What does that mean? I don't know, guys. Maybe it means something to you. Maybe somehow me explaining it this way is helping you understand what is happening. So where you stand today on the 9th, you're able to see somehow this. I don't know, it feels very math time and math. A lot of time in math here. And angelic like guidance coming through. Okay, so maybe you do something with numbers. It's all very like, it almost feels like there's the Fibonacci code, but there's in this like outline of it, because we're getting these lines, these outer lines, like maybe some kind of like magnetism. It's giving like a magnet. Like the strongest part is on the outside of the magnet. You would think it'd be like the inside of it, right? But it's like the outside is like a stronger, maybe you're drawing, you're just very strong and you're drawing stuff in. We have death in reverse. Don't let that scare you. Everything's very symbolic. I used to be that person too. I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Oh wait. What is this? It's a moth. I gotta go by the animal. Something about that too. It's like not the literal. I gotta go by the animal. I gotta go by the symbology. You know? And I wanted to go by the word here. Now I'm going by the symbol. The animal is the symbol. So we got the moth. Right? Yeah. We'll read the shadow reading because it's in the reverse. So a change is on its way, whether we like it or not. Perhaps we are not prepared. Looking forward and toward the future can be scary and unnerving, especially when we are unsure of the route we must take. The moth may fly too close to a flame and burn. Oh, interesting. A life-changing event may be on its way. What is the life-changing event? If it was in the upright, I feel like I need to read it in the upright. Did I take it? I took it like this. But if it was in the upright, it says the word, and I was just saying that death may at first cause you discomfort, but in the natural world, death is an essential part of rebirth, growth, sustaining life. While you may choose to view this card as a representation of physical death, understand that it also signifies symbolic death. Okay, so symbolic death. So this card may mean, so symbolic death, symbolism, unplugging. What the hell? This card may mean the end of a journey, the end of a relationship, or the end of an attachment. It may also represent the end of one path and movement on to the next. While the moth is known as a creature of shadow and light, we must remember that it is always seeking out the light Leaves may fall and rot into the earth, but their decay feeds new growth. The card may symbolize hope, happiness, and the life of changing events or endings, or a new beginning after a life-changing event. The moth card may be urging you to let go of old thoughts, traumas, anxieties, and that stagnate your mind. Or to cut bad habits from your life that may be holding you back from real change. Interesting. So this feels all very symbolic, obviously, right? So maybe you're holding on and you need to let go of some kind of old thought or trauma, or you could be starting new with something. Maybe it's this new, the way you're receiving energy, the way you're expressing energy. Maybe it's the way maybe you're choosing to express yourself differently. Disguise. May disguise is like, and it's the chameleon, or no. Is it the chameleon? It looks like the chameleon. It's in the reverse, so it's Gemini. So it could be like, it's giving like another side to yourself. Okay, and it's in reverse, so maybe it's like you're not wanting to show some other side of yourself. How far are we? Oh goodness. Okay, I'm trying to keep this. Maybe we'll stop after this because I'm like, I don't know. That's funny. It's funny how everything just lines up. I was about to say maybe I should stop after this, and because I was gonna say I don't think you're ready for this jelly. It's just gone too far, and we have the jellyfish. I don't think you're ready for this. Okay, disguise. Which chameleon is a C? Gone way too far. Yeah, there's something about that coming through too. I'm like looking for it, and I'm like, maybe I've gone way too far down somewhere. Maybe you have. You know, maybe you're continuing. You've just gone too, you know, and it's time for a change. Oh, shoot. Yeah, and that spirit's like telling me, like, go back because there was something I missed. Something I missed. Maybe you missed something. Because when I was talking about that snow moon, it just came through right now. And I was wondering if I should continue on or not. That day, when I was talking about, the day I unplugged something, okay? The day I unplugged that, and then I went with my kids, right? Later, I had my coffee in the morning, they got ready, I took my kids with me to the store to get the coffee before school, because I knew my husband was going to sleep in, and I had time to go get the coffee. I did that. Right? This was just recently, like last week or earlier in the week, I think, actually, that this happened. Okay, so it's pretty fresh in my mind, but I get the coffee and we get in the car and I felt like I was having like deja vu or whatever, but I remember I was being reminded at that moment, at that time when I got back in the car, because I went to start my car. Maybe I need a new car. Maybe that's what Spirit's trying to tell me. I went to start my car, and my car did that. It did it again. It did that thing where the dash was lighting up, and it's like it wanted to turn on, but it wasn't like turning on or starting my car. And I was like, what the heck? And it freaked my kids out, because my kids were like, oh my God, Mom, nope. Maybe not really freaked them out. They just wanted to stay home from school. They're like, oh, we can't go to school now, you know. And I was like, oh, we'll be fine. You're going to school. You're going to school. Anyway, so we waited a few minutes, and then I started my car. Oh, and actually, you know what? I didn't realize it at that time. It wasn't the deja vu that came in that moment, actually. It didn't come in that moment. Now I'm thinking about it. When it happened, it clicked. I dropped them off at school, and then it clicked, and I was remembering the snow moon. And I was remembering that, dang, there's so much similarities in it. I was remembering that. Am I remembering it different? Did I explain it different? But I don't know. See, I would have to actually go back and watch this video like to remember it. So maybe you're keeping some kind of log or like a time log. Gosh, I wish I had my old videos from my old channel. But sorry, that's the background phone ringing. Maybe some kind of ringing like this, catching. Maybe this is like part of something that's catching your attention. It's giving this, communicating, like spirit communicating something to you, about this. I'm trying to, okay. But anyway, yeah, I remembered later after I dropped them off. It started, I remember later on and thinking, I was like, didn't that happen on the snow moon? Yes. It's like the same thing. What were the two similarities in it? It was the car and it was the coffee. And the continuing on. The continuing on. I don't know. We'll just make note of that. Okay, let's get back into the chameleon. So Gemini. Right, see the Gemini symbol there? Right? Isn't that Gemini? Pretty sure. Or Gemini. Yes, this is Gemini. Western zodiac sign. Maybe there's something about southwest coming through. This card represents, let's read the shadow reading because it's in reverse. While hiding from danger can seem like the best course and is a valid tool for survival, you must be careful not to blend in so fully that you lose yourself. Blend in so fully that you lose yourself. Oh, so it could be that, like, maybe that hiding that part of you that's so, you know, the way you express yourself symbolically or some kind of art, you know, that you lose it, right? Or that you lose yourself. It kind of made me like, right, when I was going back and having to think and remembering and I don't know. So take time to recover from the danger. Heal yourself and learn to live boldly once again. Do not be afraid to show the bright colors of your personality to the world. That's beautiful. So I feel like Spirit wants you to know that maybe there's something you do. Maybe there's something, a way you express yourself. Maybe there's just something that you're good at that maybe you just understand, like, even like this kind of stuff, you know, maybe you just understand something differently than other people do, and Spirit's saying have the confidence to stand out. Let's read it in the upright. And I just put it down and we're going to end it after this, but we're going to read it in the upright. And then I feel like even after we read this, there's just so much more, you know, for you. And I feel like we can leave that for you to kind of wander and, you know, wonder and, you know. But it says this card represents disguise and facade. It is the idea of blending into one's social landscape to fit in, but also in order to acclimate to new surroundings. The natural camouflage of the chameleon might be interpreted as deceptive or duplicitous in one reading. But it may also signify the need to protect oneself by blending in and becoming invisible. This card could symbolize a wallflower who feels invisible, or a social butterfly who can adapt and thrive in any social situation. While we largely associate the chameleon's color changing ability with camouflage, It is also used to signal their intentions, health, temperature, and feelings. The chameleon card may represent wearing your heart on your sleeve and allowing your deeper feelings to show. And it also may represent the sign of Gemini. And this is the valid tool for survival. Hold on. Okay, but I feel like you received this in reverse for a reason, especially next to this confidence card. Do not be afraid to show the bright colors of your personality to the world. There's protection from those who seek you also coming through. Yeah, sorry for that background noise. Yeah, there's like a cleansing. Maybe this has been very cleansing for you. But, yeah. There's definitely been an energy change here. It's very bright and beautiful. And I feel like once you choose to tap into it again, it's going to change you so much. There's going to be so much change. All right, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you liked this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.